Let us head into town. Well, there's not much left for you to do here, other than head out and explore the town. You do just that. If you'd have known you'd wind up having to walk all the way back to town, you'd probably just have asked Tabitha to leave you at the bus stop, especially with how unhappy she seemed to see you. If only you could wipe the slate between the two of you clean and bury some of the tension, though maybe her mother's funeral isn't the best time for something like that. Then again, maybe it's the perfect time. Continue down the path. It's really pretty out here. Continue down the path. Finally, you made it back to town. The Hollow, as the guy in the bus called it, has probably seen better days. It still has the feeling of an idyllic country town, but its sidewalks are cracked and many of the storefronts are boarded up. Their windows are dusty with age. A chilled breeze sweeps down the lane and you shudder, suddenly feeling as if you're peering into a grave. Gretchen, come back. Quit bothering strangers. Sorry about that. Gretchen can be very slippery when she wants to be. She loves to get loose and cause havoc. Pet the dog. A pug. She's so cute. Tell me more about this wonderful creature. I am in love with this dog and wish to know everything there is to know about her. Gladly. Her favorite food is Cheese Whiz. Her favorite toy is an old sock I sewed to look like a squirrel, and her favorite show is Murder, She Wrote. Sometimes I leave it on in the background while I'm working to give her something to do. She'll actually sit in her little bed and watch it like an old lady with her programs. How'd you two meet? That's so cute. How'd you first meet her? My mum was a vet and she used to visit the regional animal shelter on weekends to do checkups. When I was real young, I'd go with her to volunteer, which really meant I'd do a little bit of manual labor, then play with the dogs for the rest of the day. One weekend, believe it or not, someone dropped off this little 1-year-old pug that had outgrown its cute puppy stage. When I went to clean her kennel, she looked up at me with those big, watery, nervous eyes, wagging her entire butt and whimpering like no one had ever loved her before. I could not fall head over heels for her, you know. My parents were rugged mountain folk, so they weren't big on toy breeds. At first, they refused to even consider adopting poor Gretchen, but I kept visiting every week, and soon enough they caved and let me take her home. My dad still wasn't too keen on her at first, but soon enough he was taking her out on the trails like she was a hound dog. Keen eye. You can't help but notice that she's been talking about her parents in the past tense. Sorry for talking your ear off, but I can't help it. I could prattle on about Gretchen for hours. But where are my manners, talking to you for this long without introducing myself? I'm Stella. It's not often I see a strange face up in the Hollow. Every now and then there's a new crop of coal folks, but you don't look dusty enough for that. You aren't in town for the funeral, are you? The Scarlet funeral? Let's introduce ourselves. Hi, I'm Lisa. You must be Tabby's cousin, right? That's the only person I can think of that would come to town for the funeral. How's she holding up? To be honest, I've been a little worried about her. All holed up in that big house. Explore. I'm sorry, did I hear you right? I can't imagine Tabitha ever going by something so bubbly. She did back when I knew her better. It's been a while. I hope she's okay. Keen eye. She's struggling. She seems alright. I'm worried about her too. Is she always so... Keen eye. I'm not sure if it's accurate that she's struggling. To be honest, I don't know if that's just who she is. Is she always so, rough around the edges? Yep, that's Tabby for you. I wouldn't take it too personally. I'm not sure what it says about her state of mind, that she's still her same old grumpy self. It'll probably be good for her now that you're staying there, even though she'd probably never admit it. How long have you known her? Oh, quite a long time. The town's really small, so everybody's known everybody else as far as back as they can remember. Tabby and I got a little close when we were both in the school's production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. I was Puck and she was Mustard Seed. As you might have expected, she was more than a little prickly, but I managed to soften her up a bit in the end. But then she graduated and that was that. Oh, if you just got to town, you must be starving. I was just on my way to the diner for a coffee, and they've got amazing biscuits. My treat. Follow her. The pleasant aroma of greasy breakfast food hangs heavy in the air. In contrast with the empty, lifeless atmosphere of the family estate, the diner is filled with comforting din of human life, all of which grinds to a sudden halt as the patrons realize that a stranger has entered the establishment. Quietly slide into the nearest booth. You slide into the nearest booth, pretending that you didn't notice everyone in the diner gawking at you like they'd just seen Bigfoot. No need to be so shy. They don't meet many strangers. It's kind of a big deal when someone new wanders into town, especially since, well, they probably all know what you're here for, and by extension, who you're related to. Even if you don't know anybody, it's not easy keeping secrets in a town this size. As you settle into the booth, you can't help but pick up on some of the murmurs of conversation around you. Listen in. Stella pets Gretchen while you take a quick look around the diner. At the counter, 2 policemen and a woman you assume to be the owner shoot sidelong glances in your direction while whispering to each other. That must be Vivian's kid. Never thought we'd actually meet her. Looks so much like her. Oh yes, those eyes are unmistakable. That haunted look. I always thought it'd go away once she finally got out of this town, but I guess unhappiness was baked into her DNA. A young mother and her syrup-stained child sit at the table across from you. Mommy, who's that? Don't stare, Tulip. That must be Miss Tabitha's cousin. Oh, so that's why she looks so sad. I would look sad too if I had Miss Tabitha as a cousin. Do you think Miss Tabitha's cousin is mean too? I don't know. I'll find out next time I go visit Miss Tabitha. Are you going to finish your pancakes? They're almost cold, Sweet Pea, and we've got to get home to help Daddy. In the far back corner, a man sits alone at a small table, sipping coffee and reading a paper. Sigh. Why are the strangers who wander into town never gorgeous blonde ladies of an appropriate age? Why is it always cowboys, punks, and whippersnappers? Lastly, a group of coal miners sit hunched around a corner booth, reading, readily scarfing down heaping plates of food. What do you think? Another young'un looking for mine work? No way. Clay don't got the stomach for it. That's got to be the boss's cousin. There's that funeral this week, if I'm remembering right, for old Miss Perlan. May she rot in peace. Oh, let the lady rest, Lloyd. One shouldn't speak ill of the dead, no matter how foul they were, especially before they've been so much as lain to rest. If you'd been around in her heyday, you'd be speaking ill too, Tommy. He's right, nastiest woman I've ever met. That Tabitha is a blessing compared to her. Curse the whole lot of them. May every scarlet burn in hell. That's enough of that. Hey Stella, I went ahead and fixed you up a cup of coffee. They gracefully place a cup, specially brewed coffee in front of Stella. Aw shucks, thanks Avery. Can I have some sugar? Already taken care of. I know you like your coffee drowned in cream and sugar. And here's some bacon for the little lady. Gretchen sniffs the bacon and digs in. Anything for you? Let's order a biscuit and a coffee. Could I have a biscuit and a coffee, please? I heard they were really good. Best in the county. Avery pours the fragrant brew into an empty mug in front of you. They linger after pouring your coffee, turning to you nervously. Oh, and I'm sorry for your loss. Before you have the chance to respond, they're gone. Glad you took my advice with the biscuit. You won't regret it. Anyways, the funeral's not till Sunday, right? That gives you quite a bit of time to slump around town. I'm trying to think if there are any cool events going on this week. There's always the reading adventure at the library, which is supposed to be for little kids, but I do it every month anyway. Oh, and I'm pretty sure Avery's throwing a party Saturday night, so that's a fun thing to look forward to. Oh, and there's the weekly Sunday potluck. That should be right after the funeral too, so it'll be a special occasion. Cool. Sounds neat. Maybe I'll check some of these things out. Anyway, those are all the big events I can think of. As for the day-to-day, any idea on how you want to kill time for the rest of the week? Keen eye. Do you have something in mind? Something's telling me this is a loaded question and you've got something in mind. Was I being that obvious? My job means I spend a lot of time in the woods with a camera, and it's always better when someone else is there too. Before Stella can finish, Avery returns, biscuit in tow. Hey, Winnie wanted to give you a biscuit on the house. She sends her condolences. You didn't have to do that. Oh, you didn't have to do that. It looks great. No worries. Hope you enjoy it. You pick up the biscuit. It's delicate and fluffy. It nearly crumbles at your touch. Buttery warmth emanates from its surface. You take a bite. It melts in your mouth as if it was nothing but butter suspended in a thin matrix of dough. Truly, this is a perfect biscuit. Whoa. This is a really good biscuit. Wow. I'm so glad you like it. Avery lingers at the table for a moment. So, has Stella mentioned she's famous? Okay, Avery, I'm not famous. Look, if you're not going to go around tooting your own horn, you know I'm going to do it for you. Stella sighs. I'm a YouTuber. What kind of videos do you do? She hunts cryptids. You should really check out her channel, Lisa. It's amazing. Wait, how did you know my name? Oh, sorry, it's just most of these people in town know about you. Sorry, I'm sure that must seem creepy. Ah well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. The Hollow's a small place. Everyone knows everyone, and that includes extended family. It's all good. I was just caught a little off guard. Whew, glad that didn't freak you out too much. Yeah, and don't worry, nothing Prolan said about you will stick, that's for sure. You can just make a good impression and wipe the slate clean with the whole town. Oh god, what was she saying about me? Ah man, look, I'm sorry I said anything. Hey, don't worry about it. Prolan was a gossip and would do the sort of thing with everyone. Spreading weird little rumors about folk was kind of her trademark. Anyways, weren't you in the middle of talking about Stella's illustrious YouTube career? So, I guess we were, weren't we? I think the best video to start with would be that river one. Not the lake, but you know, the controversial one. Oh yeah, the Catawba River Runner. I didn't expect much out of that outing at the time, but it wound up being my most popular video by far. So the River Runner is a cryptid that's only known from a single sighting. 2 Boy Scouts thought they saw something big and weird in the Catawba River, and that's all I had to go on. But then I wound up catching this on camera. Stella pulls out her phone and shows you a clip of something in a river. Some folks said it was a beaver, but if that was the case, it'd be at least twice the size of any beaver I've seen. I've also had people saying it was a dog or even a capybara that must have escaped from a local wildlife sanctuary. I'm still not sure what it was, and I'm the only one who saw the thing with my own 2 eyes. Alright, so our traits are making us assume that's a mountain lion. That's an honest to God cryptid there. Oh yeah, totally a dog. Oh wait, beaver? Hold on. Whatever it is, you should leave it alone. I don't believe in cryptids. Remain silent. Keen eye. Oh, that looks like a mountain lion. Despite the shaky camera footage, you can clearly make out the shape of the creature's head, and relative to its body proportions, you're pretty sure it's a mountain lion. I think that's a mountain lion. Can't you see its little kitty cat ears? No, no way. It's absolutely not a mountain lion. There are no mountain lions this far east. I did a whole video on the Appalachian mountain lion myth and found Jack squat, and there's no reason one would be swimming in a river like this. They're not fans of water. And the body is too long. No way. Personally, I'm a fan of the capybara theory. Sure, it's not like any local sanctuaries were missing one, but there's always people keeping exotic animals as pets. Kind of a sewer gator type situation. Haha, exactly. Some exotic pet owner set it free and now it'll forever roam the Catawba, confusing Boy Scouts in YouTube comments for years to come. So speaking of things to do around town, I was actually planning on filming this week's video tonight. I was wondering if you'd maybe want to come along. It's a pretty easy one this week. We wouldn't even have to camp anywhere. I'm going to go after the... Wait, no spoilers. Whoops, sorry Avery. It's okay, I should probably get back to it instead of standing around chatting with friends. See y'all around. Now that the coast is clear, I'm going to go after Skunk Ape. But doesn't Skunk Ape live in Florida? Oh, you know your stuff, don't you? You knew you'd make a great partner. It mostly lives in Florida, but there've been sightings as far north as Virginia. While I was doing research for last week's video, I came across a report where a lady from a town over claimed to have seen one on her desk playing tug of war with her dog. And as I leave no stone unturned, I decided it was worth investigating. So what do you say? Want to tag along? Hold the camera for me while I narrate against the darkening sky, that sort of thing. I feel like this is the most close to what I would say. That depends. Will Gretchen be there? Of course, it's actually been a while since I've had anyone but Gretchen out there with me. Say no more, I'm in. This is going to be a lot of fun. I actually started the channel with a couple of buddies of mine back in middle school, so it'll kind of be like a blast from the past. Me and Kanika and Reese running around in the woods, flipping over rocks and bothering salamanders. Our videos were terrible, but we had a lot of fun, and that's all that mattered to us. You know, that gets me thinking. I wonder if they'd be down to come along with us, get the old gang back together. Though I guess Kanika has to close out the general store tonight, so I'm pretty sure she's a no-go. But Reese, I think there's a decent chance we could get him to come out of his hidey hole, if he's up for it. Do you mind if I make a quick call? Stella pulls out her phone and dials it, waiting while it rings. Reese, dude, what's up? Feels like it's been forever. Aw man, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you want me to come by or... Okay, if you're really sure, but if you change your mind... Oh, I was just calling to ask if you wanted to come out to the woods tonight. I met somebody cool in town today. She's Tabitha's cousin. I know, yeah. Just here for the week. Anyway, we're going out to look for Skunk Ape. We could take the easier trails if that would help. Dang man, that sounds awful. I hope you take it easy tonight. I'll swing by sometime this week and we can have a more low-key hang. How's that? Oh yeah, I'll bring her. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, bud. Looks like it's just you and me, pal. Did he ask you to bring me to his house? Why? He's excited to meet you, of course. I think you find most folks in town are. Is he okay? He's not feeling well, that's all. He's had a lot going on in the past, 10 years or so, but I feel like it's gotten a lot worse recently. I can't remember the last time I saw him leave his house. Oh well, it's not my place to talk about really. I just got a little excited thinking about having him along again. He's hilarious. You'd love him. We should swing by his place sometime this week. That'd be nice. I'd love to meet your friends. Awesome, I'll make it happen. He's definitely the trickier one to meet. Kanika is much easier to track down since she's at the general store basically every day. But friendships can wait. We've got a skunk ape to hunt. So, we should probably head out if we want to make it up the mountain before it's too dark. Come on, let's blow this popsicle stand. You pause before getting up. Maybe it's time to make a good first impression. After all, it seems everyone in town has heard awful things about you from your now deceased aunt. Leave a tip, leave a generous tip. If you can't afford to leave a tip, don't leave a tip. You didn't even spend any money. Leave a generous tip. You reach into your pocket and pull out a crumpled $5 bill. You know it's a bit more than one would expect to get from such a short dining experience, but you might as well share the wealth while you've got it. You smooth out the bill before placing it on the table inconspicuously. Ah, that's awesome of you. Avery will appreciate that, I'm sure. Stella turns to leave the diner with you following close behind. It hadn't been very cold when you first arrived in town, but as the sun dips closer and closer to the horizon, a chill descends upon the hollow, and you see your situation with renewed clarity. You're in a new place, far from civilization and the people you know, following someone you've just met into the dark forest in search of monsters. You feel strangely calm. The setting sun paints beautiful colors in the sky, fresh air fills your lungs, and pleasant songs of crickets trill around as the night descends. This is where you're supposed to be, with Stella by your side, a sweet smile on her face, and Gretchen plodding along in front without a care in the world. Gotta love this brisk fall weather. This past summer has been the hottest on record, since last year at least. You know how it is these days. Each summer is the hottest yet until the next summer, which always finds a way to be much worse. It's just nice to feel the chill in the air and see the leaves change, like normalcy is restored, if only for a moment. Sorry if that was a bit of a bummer. We should talk about something more fun, like skunk apes. What's the weirdest thing you've seen in these woods, other than anything cryptid related, of course? Oh gosh, that's a good one. Let me think. Well, there's always the deer I saw stealing a baby birds out of a nest and eating them. That was pretty messed up. But I think most people know about that these days. I've seen tons of videos of other deer doing it. I'm not sure if it counts as weird anymore. Oh, Tetanus Lake, that's definitely the weirdest. It was a 5-foot deep, 30-foot wide pile of old cans and bottles, assorted garbage, with grass and trees growing on it, so you could barely tell if it was there until you stepped on it. It was practically solid ground with how much it had been compressed, but you could still fall through if you weren't careful, hence the name. Better be up on your shots if you want to mess around in there. It was all stuff from the 50s too, which was super neat. I salvaged a few bottles that I keep on my dresser as a little souvenir. Do you ever hunt things that aren't cryptids? You know, like ghosts, demons, werewolves, that sort of thing? Yeah, for sure. I used to go after all sorts of spooky stuff. Never had much luck though, especially when it came to ghosts. Back when I first started doing solo videos, I'd go all in. I'd go into all sorts of old abandoned buildings hoping I'd stumble across some sort of activity. But nothing ever happened. It was always just me and my camera in an old house getting worked up over a gust of wind or a creaky floorboard. When all's said and done, I've just been a lot luckier with cryptids. I want to believe in ghosts so bad, and I can't rule out the possibility that there really are true hauntings out there. But if there are, I'm sure as heck haven't seen any myself. Werewolves I kind of lump in with cryptids. I'd be shocked if there were actually were-people out there who turned into animals, but werewolf lore lines up pretty well with the great beast genre of cryptid. As for demons, I don't know. I honestly don't even want to consider the possibility that they exist, because if they are really out there, geez, a lot of folks are doomed to an eternity of flames. So let's all hope that's just bunk, am I right? What about aliens? What do you think about aliens? Don't even get me started. Did you see those UFO videos the government declassified? Aliens are definitely real, and they have absolutely visited Earth. Like, I believe in aliens way more than I believe in cryptids. You don't see me hunting aliens out here because we know they're real. I'm skeptical. Don't get me wrong, I have fun with the stories, but I feel like there are almost always far more plausible explanations. Like little green men. How am I supposed to believe that stuff? They're actually tall grey men these days. Maybe your knowledge is a little outdated. Alien research has come a long way since the 50s, you know. There are some very convincing stories out there if you know where to look. I know somebody who knows somebody who heard a story from this trucker in Fayetteville. His truck stopped in the middle of the road, just shut down completely, even though he had a full tank of gas. And suddenly it looked like daylight outside. He could see cows on the fields, birds in the sky, and then this metallic egg thing appeared, floating in front of his truck. He passed out, and when he woke up, he was missing one of his pinkies. It was like it had never been there. It was just smooth skin where a pinky should be. I know it's a second-hand source, but there's plenty more like it. And if they are true, alright, maybe I can come around on this. Huh, that's pretty interesting. Maybe I could come around on this eventually, if there's any more proof. Oh, do I ever have more proof? Once we're back in civilization, I have a stockpile of videos and interviews that'll blow your mind. Has anything bad happened on one of these hikes? You know, just curious. Let me think. There was that time back in early high school when Reese fell down a cliff. But he was fine. We had some folks from the town rig up a pulley to get him out of the ravine, and his leg only took a couple of months to heal. All in all, not too bad. Though I guess there was also that time I was out here alone and kinda got stuck in a cave. I was getting great footage with what I thought was a family of wampus cats, but I wasn't able to wiggle my way back out. Turns out the wampus cats were actually skunks who very much did not appreciate me blocking the entrance to their hidey hole. And instead of running for help, Gretchen just sat outside, bored to tears. Lassie, she is not. It took about an hour to get loose, which was pretty intense, but a few tomato juice baths later and I was right as rain, so it could have been a lot worse. Oh, and there was a time I accidentally stumbled into Old Duke's property and nearly got my head shot off. But that happens to everybody sooner or later. I'd barely counted. So yeah, these hikes aren't all that dangerous, all things considered. Are you really expecting to find anything out here? What are the chances we actually run into a skunk ape in just one night of filming? That's fair, we are hunting a creature that stayed hidden from humans long enough to gain a mythic reputation. But what are the odds of something like that popping out to star on my little YouTube channel? But hey, the chances are never zero, right? Did you hear that? Oh, calm down, Gretchen, you old mutt. Same to you, Stella. You're always jumping at nothing, girl. Whew, sorry for being jumpy, Duke. I thought you were some creature of darkness. Nah, girlie. Just old Duke. Nah, what the hell are you looking for way out here? Skunk ape. Sorry I asked. Who's this you've suckered into coming with you? Wait a tick. You aren't. Is that? Yep. I see. Welcome to the holler. My condolences. I'll keep you in my prayers. Now both of y'all head back to town, you hear. It's best you steer clear of this area tonight. I'm out dealing with my own critter that won't be too appreciative of a couple fools with a camera scare away the more sensitive wildlife. What are you hunting tonight? Something tall and hairy? Something musky? You see anything like that recently? Wouldn't you like to know? You never could stay in your business, Stella Richmond. Put that damn camera down. Oh, come on, Duke. Maybe I could help out. I'm pretty good at tracking. You know, I learned from the best. That you did, but I have yet to see a shred of proof that you listened to any of it. The way you tromp around the woods at night yelling about chuckabungas or what have you. But I suppose it couldn't hurt to have a few more eyes out here tonight. Something's been getting at my chickens. I've lost 3 this week and can't afford to lose many more than that. I'm so sorry to hear that. But, I wonder if skunk ape has a taste for chicken. Now see, this is why I don't come to you about these things. It ain't no skunk ape, whatever the hell that is. I know exactly what this is, but I know you won't believe me if I tell you. Oh, Duke, you don't think it's... I do, actually. It's those damn mountain lions. They're out there, Stella. I don't care what your little investigation turned up. You haven't been out in these woods as long as I have. Those sons of bitches are sneaky. Of course you wouldn't find any one night of tracking. And I know for a fact that that's been getting at my chickens. It couldn't be anything else. I'm telling you, man, mountain lions are extinct in these parts. There hasn't been an actual sighting since the 1990s, and even those were iffy. I can't believe you go out there on your YouTube saying some river monster spotted by a couple school-aged Boy Scouts has been 100% confirmed yet. Appalachian cougars or some kind of far-fetched fantasy made up by geezers like me. You made me look like a fool. I read those comments people were posting on your video. They were calling me all kinds of names just for seeing things with my own eyes that I know to be true. I'm sorry, Duke. I didn't mean to sick anyone on you. I just don't think it's plausible. You'll eat those words when I come carrying a mountain lion corpse out of those woods at dawn. And if you two don't want a face full of buckshot, I suggest you run home and stay out of the woods tonight. What? If you find a mountain lion, don't kill it. If there are any in the Appalachians, they'd be highly endangered. Killing one might actually be a crime. At the very least, it'd be a crime against nature. A crime? And what about the crimes they committed against me and my chickens? Ain't murder one of the worst crimes you can commit? I'm just serving justice where it's due. An eye for an eye, a life for a life. Can't you at least use tranquilizers or something non-lethal? Killing another animal isn't going to make things right. It won't bring your chickens back. It'll just cause the potential extinction of a subspecies. Alright, let me just go to my truck and get from my tranquilizer gun and prescription grade darts. Are you kidding? I don't have that kind of shit lying around. I do. My parents use stuff like that sometimes. My mom could write prescriptions for the darts and I'd still have a box of them in the shed. Though they're probably pretty old by now. I don't know how long they're supposed to be effective for. And there you have it. It's kill or be killed tonight. And if you ain't careful, you'll wind up in the middle of it. So go on then. Go on home. Fine. I see you won't be moved, and I respect that. Come on, Lisa. Let's go back to town. Maybe my viewers won't be too angry with me. About time. Have a nice night, y'all. As you and Stella return to the trail, she carefully looks back the way you came. Okay, the coast is clear. There's no way we're letting Duke edge us out that easy. Come on, I know a trail that'll get us around him. Lead the way. And trust me, we don't have anything to worry about from old Duke or his shotgun. I've gone hunting with him before. The man sounds like a truck crashing through the trees when he walks. Even if we do cross paths, we'll hear him long before he catches wind of us. The trail's just up this way. Let's go.